Okay, it is time to start this sort of video. It goes spy, sabotage, and survival. Survival I prefer over defense because survival is a set 10 minutes. It will not be longer, will not be shorter. 10 minutes. Because defense takes forever. So, as you can probably tell from the name of this video, or the title of this video, that, whatever the heck it's called, today's topic is sleep. Now, when it comes to sleep, the recommended amount that everyone, no matter what age you are, no matter who you are, no matter what, you should get 8 hours. Getting too much sleep is bad. Getting too little sleep is bad. Most people, I would say, in general, only get like 6 to 7. Because of this, I always try to organize my schedule around getting 7 hours. Why? Because I want my sleep. It's kind of like Shrek with get in my belly. For me, it's I want some sleep. Yeah, I know it don't work. I was trying to force a joke that really didn't need to be made. We're not going to talk about it. But, yeah, I always try to get 8 hours of sleep every single day. Because it is, as I said, it is the recommended amount. But, you know, every now and then I do get less. I do suffer from, whatever the heck it's called, insomnia. So, oh my god, stop with the elevators. So, because of that, if like I get in my bed, because when I get in my bed I usually am like preparing for 8 hours and 30 minutes of sleep. Now the reason this is because of my insomnia, it takes me a little while to actually fall asleep. So I do 8 hours and 30 minutes. That way I have like 30 minutes to fall asleep. Now if it happens to take longer than 30 minutes, it is when I get into, oh, I'm screwed territory. Because, after that, like, obviously I won't have my 8 hours.
You've triggered the alarms. Lose this data and the mission will be
How? He triggered the alarms. Oh my god. I hate people. He has 8 seconds. He left. What the hell? I'm gonna...
successfully hacked. The location is returning to normal security levels. The enemy has successfully destroyed all the data. This mission is a failure.
But why? Like, I'm already in the room. Why are you gonna walk in there with me? No, actually, I'm leaving the squad. I'm leaving the squad. The squad with, yeah. That just angers me how I didn't even mess up. Okay. So, let's get back on topic because that stupid person had to annoy me. Oh, well. To the shapeship. Okay. But, but yeah, a lot of people tend to only get like 6 to 7 hours because they do stupid things and don't get enough sleep. So yeah, I always give myself 30 minutes to fall asleep, which honestly usually does take longer, so I usually don't get the 8 hours that I want. And like, that kind of happened today. The reason I'm on this topic, though, is because last night, after I was already busy, like, closing the McDonald's store that I was in, my friends wanted to hang out. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. And I ended up staying over their house till, like, 3 in the morning. So by the time I got home, took my shower, and like so on and so forth, I was
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now,
whatever the
or
heck
we
it's
will
called.
start
It was like 4 in the morning. Now, as I said, usually I try to plan myself around like 8 hours, meaning I would have to wake up around like 12. Now, I wasn't about to like waste so much of my time, so I thought I kept my alarm for whatever the heck it's called. I thought I kept my alarm for like 11:30, and I was just gonna say, okay, I got less sleep, like whoop-de-doo. But nope. Apparently, I didn't have my alarm off,
Keep moving.
and
Scanners have detected you.
I ended up waking up at 12:45 when my mother woke me up. So I'm a bit upset about that. And then like we left, we got something to eat, and then we came home, and now I'm recording this. Now, obviously, because I'm recording this and all, this is going to be a bit late. This is later than when I usually do it, but you know, it happens. So that's really all I have to say. Is just like it just kind of happens every now and then. Sometimes shit hits the fan. And today is my more work day, meaning
Triggered the alarms. Lose this data.
I'm just going to be doing a lot more, whatever the heck it's called.
Get to extraction.
After I'm done with this, I need to do like homework, and then I'll finally start streaming after that. Come on, you can't get in this little tiny crack here. Nope, guess not. But you can get on this. Trying to get on like the lower level of it, like right here. Yep. And from the sleep experience, I decided that it'd be a good idea to do whatever the heck it's called. It'd be a good idea to make this sort of video on sleep. Now, as I did say, you always want to get 8 hours. So I did actually get over 8 hours, and I did feel pretty decent, honestly. This morning, like I wasn't really tired. I didn't have any major problems waking up. Usually, because as I said, I do have insomnia, so I don't usually get my full 8 hours. I plan for 8 hours, but I usually only get like 7 to 7:30. I feel a bit like tired and just like so on and so forth. But because I actually got like over 8 hours, I felt I wouldn't say refreshed, but I wasn't tired at all. And because of that, like it did kind of help me in the like sort of. But to be truthful, I'm not 100% sure about like why 8 hours is a good amount and everything, because I actually know like a few people in one of my classes. We started talking about the same thing. We started talking about how much sleep we should have, and like a medical expert who's going into like nursing or something
The reactor will have tight security.
No.
Watch out for enemy patrols.
said
Okay, you're looking
that
for the
it
mainframe.
be
It's critical that you deliver the payload to
whatever the heck it's
location.
called, 10 hours, or 8 hours is the proper amount. Anything less is bad. Anything too much more is also bad.
Incoming reinforcements.
And she said that she's fully aware that her own sleep schedule is unhealthy, but she does it anyway because she said that she sleeps for like 10 hours a day. And I don't understand how you can physically do that. But you know, whatever floats your boat. And like so on and so forth. I could not sleep for 10 hours a day. I have too much every day that I need to be getting done. I need to get my stream. I need to be doing whatever the heck it's called. Uploading the 3 videos, recording the sortie. I couldn't possibly get that done. Could not possibly stay with my method of doing things with that. I could just, sacrifice more sleep, but I'd rather not do that either. I cannot say that that would be a fun time. And then I could probably actually get more content out and everything, but you know, I'd still rather not. I think that everyone should always like try and plan to get more sleep. Now, yeah, I know that. Oh, then. I know that most people, they might not have an option to, or like children, because babies will always like wake you up from, crying and everything. And I understand these situations, but I feel as if that, like, you should always at least plan for 8 hours, so that, yeah, it might not happen, but just like to have the possibility of it happen. Because that's like really my whole strategy with it is, as I said, I always try to at least get 8 hours, but sometimes the world just works in stupid ways, and my family will wake me up early. Then usually I try to go back to bed, but sometimes I can't, sometimes I can. It's kind of sporadic. Sleep in general is a bit odd, because there are like the weird beds, like the sleep number beds, that are supposed to like help you with snoring and laying down and all the hubbub. Am I slowing and laying down? But like they're just supposed to help you have a more enjoyable experience when you're trying to sleep, obviously. And because of that, I don't really think it's worth it, though, honestly, just to get some super expensive high-tech bed. And I'm gonna stick with my pretty small, reasonable bed that isn't all that comfortable, but yet I really like it. Bed. Because, like, nonetheless, I just enjoy being able to just lay down and fall asleep. There's been a few times where, like, usually when people are, like, sick or something like that, where just laying down is the best thing for you. When it comes to me, like, I hate wasting time so much. There are certain things, like some of my other friends have been like wasted, like have said the same thing, that they hate wasting time, and that how they don't understand how I can do this, and this when I hate wasting time too. And by that I mean like watching movies or watching TV. But I was like, to me, that's really not like a waste of time. It is an enjoyable experience, and like so on and so forth. But like nonetheless, like that's just what it is. Another reason I got into like the wasting time bit is because I think that like if you plan for 8 hours, even if you don't get 8 hours of sleep, and you could sleep in if you really wanted to, I'm still gonna get out of my bed. Like when my alarm goes off, which today, as I said, my alarm happened to be off, which is why it didn't. I am out of my bed. I don't care if I got 8 hours of sleep. I don't care if I got 5 hours of sleep. I am out of my bed. Okay, maybe 5 hours of sleep is a bit too little, and I probably would honestly like attempt to sleep for maybe like 30 more minutes or something. Not anything like too much longer, but not like so short I'm dying the rest of the day and just wanting to sleep. Because there has been like what's it called? Oh, and like naps. Naps are the biggest waste of time in the world, in my opinion. If I have nothing against you if you're the type of person who likes to take like an hour nap a day, which apparently the recommended time also, because of the one nursing person also said that the recommended time, if you're ever going to take a nap, only do it for like 45 minutes. If you go into like an hour, you start to like mess with your sleep schedule, first off. Second off, you will actually make yourself more tired because your body will want to stay sleeping, and because you'll obviously stop sleeping. Your body will be like, no, 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 it's bedtime. You need to go to bed. And if you do anything like under the 45 minutes, then it will do whatever the heck it's called. It won't be enough sleep to like fully refresh you, and it'll just like you'll still stay tired. So like if you're ever gonna take a nap, always do it for 45 minutes. Now, as I said, I fully and utterly think that naps are a giant waste of time. That you should never, ever take a nap unless the one time I have ever taken a nap in my life, which, honestly, I would say I fully needed it because of the levels of exhaustion I had. And what it was I was back in high school. And I worked a lot. So in high school, I still worked at McDonald's, but I worked a lot more than I work now, actually. I would work like 5 days a week. Now I only work like 3, and so on and so forth. But because of that, I had there was obviously every now and then I'd be really, really tired. And this happened to me one of the times where I worked like 5 8-hour shifts. I think this week I also like came in the days that I wasn't scheduled, so I worked the 7 every single day for the week, each one being close to 8 hours. And it was just bad. And I was at a very, very tired point. Now, not only this, but I was just like, I was feeling exhausted because of whatever the heck it's called. Like, I was feeling exhausted from both, like, sleep, from, like, actually work. Like, my body was exhausted from... What else? Like, it was, I think I was coming on with, like, a cold or something because of it. It was just a bad time. And, like, the last day that I worked, I was literally, like, at the point of passing out for most of my... For most of my shift. Just kind of constantly, like, wavering. My head was swaying. Things like that. Now, I still worked the whole shift. I don't know why they didn't send me home, but I still worked the whole shift, and like so on and so forth. And once my shift finally ended, I got home, and for the first time in my life, I took a nap. I just wasn't feeling it. I was super tired. And I decided it would be a good idea to take a nap. I got in my bed, I think it was like, like 5 o'clock at night. And I slept for like... Really? And I slept for like... Let me think. Like 2 hours. And I know you're not supposed to sleep for like the 45 minutes, as I was saying, because it can mess with your schedule and everything. But for me, it was quite refreshing because I probably only had about around 6 hours of sleep for like each day that entire week. Because back in high school, I would go to bed at like 12 o'clock at night, and then I'd wake up at like 7. And as I said, I have insomnia, so even if I got in my bed at 12, I would probably fall asleep at about 1 o'clock in the morning. So that would take away the hour, and that would give me the, whatever the heck it's called, the 6 hours of sleep instead of getting 7. And then from there, it was just like, okay, you know, I can deal with this, whatever, it's not that bad. But then that mixed with working, I had like no downtime for anything in between, and like the few days, like the first few days of it where I did have some downtime, I was just kind of like wasting my time type deal. I wouldn't really say wasting my time, but like I didn't really do anything to refresh myself. I kind of just like came down, played games, went to bed, like so on and so forth. What I do now, but like now I actually have like time to sleep and everything. It's insane how far the damage from those goes.
Life support on the way.
And as I said, I decided to take that nap, and it was very, very much well needed. And like as I said, like in situations like that, I think that like the nap was still a waste of time, but at the same time, I think it was well needed. Like I think I could have stayed up the rest of the day and been fine, or not really been fine, but more of like been super tired and just been like, okay, you know what? Just keep pushing through, and then get like another 6 hours of sleep that night, and then like the next day where I didn't work, just like try to more sleep then, because every weekend I would get about whatever the heck it's called. I would try for my 8 hours of sleep, and I'd probably only get like 7 or so. But then every weekday with school, I would only get my 6 hours. And then whatever the heck it's called, just like people and my tiredness caught up on me. And yeah. So really just like anyone who ever thinks that sleep is not like a necessity, that you'll be fine, just know you're wrong. Like I do have my one friend who would do whatever the heck it's called. He would get like no sleep at all, to the point where his dad would throw a bucket of water on top of him to wake him up in the morning, because he would stay up all night and then he'd have school in the morning. And this friend, I don't really know what's going on with him now, but I'm pretty sure he's learned from his ways, because like he he'd tell me like not how it was like a mistake for him to do it, but how it was just like it takes a toll on your body, honestly. And how even though yeah, it was fun in like the meantime, but as I said, like after enough, it really starts to like take its toll. And I think that like during the weekends, he would sleep for longer amounts of time and actually like get whatever the heck it's called, get more than just like his usual like 5 hours of sleep or something. And yeah. And like always, I'm not like one of those super advocates that are like going to tell you make sure you get 8 hours of sleep every single night, because I understand that's just not going to happen. I'm not going to like try to give unrealistic standards to anyone when it comes to sleep. I'm just going to say that like this is what you should get of sleep. If you're not getting it, okay. If you are getting it, okay. Just always, I will say that you should always attempt to at least plan for it. I'll take the Kuva. I don't mind Kuva. You should always plan for 8 hours. How fitting I yawned. Even though I got a little over 8 hours of sleep. But, you know, it's what happens. Oh wow, I got the entire Oberon set. So, like anyone who was wondering how much sleep you should get and like so on and so forth with that, like this is how much you need to get. Get 8 hours sleep every night, no matter what, under all circumstances. Nah. But it does like actually refresh both your brain, your body. There is actual science and math behind it. It's not just like it's the number that everyone came up with and is like, yeah, you need to get this number just because everyone says so. Like, no, it actually makes really good sense. And I am, like, my body in itself has realized why this is true. Because I have had some very tired moments in my life, that is for sure. So I'm going to bid you all adieu. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time, and I bid you all adieu. Goodbye.